Worm, prepare yourself. Damn Saiyan.
A lot of you guys have been asking me what my thoughts are on Akira Toriyama's own words about the Dragon Ball Super Broly movie. And instead of answering each and every one, I'm going to go ahead and do this video and give you guys a broad answer on all that is here in this passage. So let's go ahead and start out with, everyone, are you familiar with Broly? He's an incredibly strong Saiyan who only appeared in the old anime movies, and I apparently at least drew the designs for him, but I had practically no involvement with the anime at the time, so I had totally forgotten about the story content. Well guys, you heard it from Senpai yourselves. He forgot about Broly, for the most part it seems in this. He forgot that he even drew, I guess he drew the designs for him or something. Yeah, that's what it says here. He drew the designs for Broly, but he forgot. At least he's admitting it, you know, he's admitting the fact that he forgets. It's been heavily memed that Akira Toriyama forgets a lot of this stuff that happens in Dragon Ball. And here is a perfect example of him forgetting something. So, about Broly, I hear these days he's very popular not only in Japan but also overseas. Based on that, my editor suggested we have Broly appear in the next movie. And I feel like the first part of this sentence kind of reads like a joke, like if you guys have seen that meme with Steve Buscemi, he's disguised as a teenager. He walks into high school and he goes, "Hello, fellow kids," something along those lines. That's kind of what this sounds like. I posted it on Twitter earlier this week. But it sounds like he's like, "Hey, what's going on, children? You guys remember Broly, right? Well, I'm going to remake Broly into the new Dragon Ball Super movie." And it's based on the editor suggesting that Broly appear in the next movie. So this is really interesting. First of all, Akira Toriyama has made a lot of decisions based on the editor, and I feel like a lot of these manga artists and creators do a lot of these decisions based on the editor. Now, some of them can be good, some of them can be bad. I don't remember if the editor was the one that pushed for Kale, but that it could be a possibility. You guys correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe I read something about that where they knew that Broly was really popular, and so they created Kale. And I believe Akira Toriyama created Caulifla to contrast Kale and be her buddy. And I think it's really important where he's stating right here that the editor suggested that Broly appear in the movie. Like, a lot of people are thinking that he's going to be the main villain of the movie. And he very well could be, because he is a villain in the original Dragon Ball Z movies. And I feel like now that the movie's based on Broly, I shouldn't be digging too deeply into Dragon Ball right now. Like, I shouldn't be thinking there's more behind this than there actually is. Like, I'm taking this, I should be taking this very much at face value, but at the same time I'm thinking like my wheels are turning, and I'm thinking that maybe there may be a different villain other than Frieza and Broly in the film. Maybe it has to do with Broly facing off against somebody. Maybe the fight we see between Broly and Goku is something that happens because they are Saiyans and they're fighting against each other, and we're gonna see that really cool action. And then we're gonna be seeing maybe another villain like Yamoshi. Maybe he's going to be in the film at some level, and maybe he is the actual villain, quote-unquote bad guy. They gotta get across. So I went ahead and watched the movies from back then, and I felt this could be quite interesting once I got right to work trying my hand at a story that incorporates him into the Dragon Ball Super series. Okay, I'm a little bummed out. I know Akira Toriyama, you know, he's not trying to make Dragon Ball his entire life. At least back then he wasn't. He finished off the manga, he finished off the anime, and I think he started trying to do other projects until he eventually came back to Dragon Ball. So I know that I shouldn't be surprised that he hasn't watched the movies, but I feel like if I created something, I would at least watch some of the spin-off movies or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would watch some of that just to see how somebody else is using my property. And I think that's the reason that he decided to make, I believe it was either Battle of Gods or Dragon Ball Kai. he decided to do that because Dragon Ball Evolution, he finally was able to see what Dragon Ball Evolution was like, and he was appalled by it. So, I mean, he should really be more active in Dragon Ball, I feel, seeing as how he's the creator. And it's good to see that he is, actually. That's one positive about this movie, is that he's really trying to put his all into the movie, and that's phenomenal in my opinion. While keeping in mind Broly's classic image so fondly in the more fascinating while keeping in mind Broly's classic image so fondly in the more fascinating Broly. I'm not really sure on that sentence. I'll get back to you on that one. Maybe. Normally you'll get to see fierce combat, but also the encounter between Goku, Vegeta, and Broly. It also involves the Frieza Force and the history of the Saiyans, which end up having a major connection to everyone. The story content turns out to be very large scale and dramatic. So this to me means that we're going to get an explanation on the original Saiyan form, because you guys know that I've been harping on this, that the form that Kale and now Broly have, that's the original Saiyan form. And Vegeta even states this in the Tournament of Power when he first sees Kale. That's the original Saiyan form. So I believe that this form is the base, the as I've said already, the original, and then the Super Saiyan form that we've seen so far, that's kind of like how it evolved throughout the ages, kind of. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, the form that Broly and Kale have is more primal, I guess, and it can't control all the power inside of them. And so I think that's where they're going with this, and the history of the Saiyan. So and combined with the Frieza Force. So the Frieza Force, I already stated my theory that I feel like Frieza is going to be trying to find Broly in some way, and maybe we're going to be getting to see Frieza's home planet. That's where the ice world is. It's Frieza's home planet. That's my hope. I'm hoping it's not Earth, because that would just kind of be anticlimactic. I'm hoping that it is, and I don't think that Frieza should come right back to Earth after he's already been kicked off Earth twice now and sent straight to hell. So I feel like it would be awesome if it was on a frozen planet that is Frieza's planet. That's really the only way I can see them incorporating Frieza, because Frieza, remember, wasn't with the Saiyans he was in the Saiyans for a while, but not as long as it would be going all the way back to the original Saiyans, you know. So his storyline doesn't really coincide with Broly's storyline, depending on where in time Broly is from, because he would have had to escape Planet Vegeta's destruction if he was part of our timeline now. But if he is from, like, say, from the past, frozen, which is where I'm thinking he is going to be, and I think Akira Toriyama is going to make him frozen and be sort of like Aang from the Avatar Last Airbender. He's going to be kind of stuck in time, I guess. Then that's really the only way I could see it, honestly. Here comes the almighty Saiyan Broly. I'm also including lots of content all you fans will enjoy, so look forward to it, and be patient a while longer for it all to come together. So I'm gonna be patient, Akira Toriyama, senpai, master. Don't worry about that. I breed patience. That's literally one of my main attributes. And I will be patient for this movie. It comes out in December. I'm not sure if it's gonna be simulcast, like it's gonna come out here at the same time. I think it was December 14th it's gonna come out. I'm hoping that's the case. I'm hoping that it comes out here in theaters as well, but I highly doubt it. I think they would have announced it by now, but hopefully that is the case. And I think we're supposed to be getting a trailer at San Diego Comic-Con. I feel like it should be simulcast, actually, seeing as how they've been. I mean, he just came out with this message in English, so he knows that the overseas fans are going to be the ones really watching this as well. And then we're going to get a trailer at San Diego Comic-Con, I believe, on July 19th. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's July 19th. So in that trailer, don't blow your load. That's number one. Don't shoot out everything that you think is going to be gonna attract our eye and want us to go see the movie. I don't think that you have to give us that much. The teaser did some of the best job when it came to that. I think the teaser really helped when it came to showing just enough. I feel like I skipped a portion of this that I really wanted to talk about. Interesting. Story incorporates him in the story. Story content turns out makes a connection to everything. I feel like he's popular these days. The movie incorporates him in Dragon Ball. Ended up having major story content. It's very large scale. I feel like I missed something here, where he states that he's going to be changing Broly. The movies, what we're trying to incorporates him in Dragon Ball Super, while keeping in mind Broly's classic image so fondly and the more fascinating. I feel like that part, I feel like I'm reading something. Oh, hold on a second. Well, look at that. I had to go back to it because for some reason the excerpt that I had didn't have the full quote. While keeping in mind Broly's classic image as to not disappoint his fans, I updated him and added a new side to his character, and I think that this has resulted in a more fascinating Broly. So fascinating Broly. Well, let's look at Akira Toriyama's track record when it comes to making characters, or at least a character that's very similar to Broly, more fascinating, and that is Kale. Okay, Kale essentially retained most of the characteristics that Broly had when he first was announced. He even had the whole Kakarot scene at one. She even had the whole Kakarot scene at one point when she was facing off against Goku in the Tournament of Power. So Broly can't do that same thing. Broly can't be like Kakarot, be upset because he's connected to Goku and crying, all that shitty part, in my opinion, of Broly's character. Kale already had that, so you can't give that to Broly as well. But what Akira Toriyama did to make Kale more interesting is that he gave her Caulifla to kind of balance her out, I guess. And so I think that maybe he's going to go around that same route and balance out Broly, or change his character up a little bit by giving him some sort of connection, or making him something that we don't see coming. I mean, the one thing that I wouldn't see coming is for him to be more of a tragic hero than being a villain. And that's kind of why I'm thinking there might be another villain to the story that we don't know of yet. I'm thinking it's Yamoshi at this point, but don't quote me on that. And I think that he's going to be a character that when he goes berserk, he is going to go berserk and attack everybody. But I feel like his base characterization is going to be similar to Goku's in the way that he wants to fight everybody and seek out challenges, but he's not going to be inherently evil. Now, I like evil Broly as much as the next guy, but even the one in the original movie, he wasn't evil up until he became crazy, and then he was more evil. So I think that's the best way for them to change his character, is just to make him more of a less of an evil villain and more relatable, more part of a core member of the Saiyan Force. I mean, most of the Saiyans that we've seen so far, besides Vegeta, they're pretty. I mean, they're not that bad. They're not evil villains, besides essentially Vegeta at this point. So, and Raditz, I guess you can't forget about, and Nappa. Oh man, just adding to that list. But that's really the only thing that I can think of changing his character. I'm really interested in seeing exactly how he's going to pull this off, because you really have to go all out. He would have to make Dragon Ball Super Broly, the movie, just because it is a reboot. Let me just get this straight. It's a reboot. He's taking a character that's not canon, but he's rebooting him and re-updating him into a different into a different storyline, and with a whole different take. It's a reboot. I mean, I don't call it the Powerpuff Girls. If you guys watch Cartoon Network, I have kids, so there's new Powerpuff Girls on there. If you guys ever watched the old Powerpuff Girls, and they rebooted them, and they changed the storyline sort of, and they updated and modernized them and all that. So that's a reboot, and this is a reboot. It's the same thing, and so I'm really curious how he's gonna pull this off. If he can make this, like, say how the movie It was a great reboot, if he can make it in that vein where this comes out and it's just revitalizes Dragon Ball, was like, okay, now I'm really on board, and I think that Broly is the best character, one of the best characters I've seen from Dragon Ball, similar to I went into Avengers Infinity War and I didn't have too much of a stake in Thanos because we really hadn't seen anything from him then. and then I saw it, and that's my favorite villain. So I'm hoping that my socks are blown away. So I do have high expectations for this movie because it is a reboot, and I think that, and it's a reboot made by Akira Toriyama essentially. So I have high hopes. So don't get butthurt when I'm really critiquing the movie when it comes out and I'm really being hard on it. But anyway, guys, this has been a long video. Just want to get my thoughts out on this entire Akira Toriyama quote. Let me know what your thoughts are on, and let me know how you think he's going to change Broly's character in a way that we're not going to expect. This is going to be Blackscape signing off.